Venus in the astrological natal chart. It's easy to get tangled up in endless debates about whether people with personality opposites attract, or if it's vice versa. I struggle during these debates. They seem to be based on an unspoken assumption which views attraction between people to be like the attraction between magnets. Well, for what it's worth, what every curious youngling soon finds interesting while playing with magnets is that, yes, it is true, opposite side magnets attract and similar sides repel. As long as we are also able to understand that there are precise and elaborate mathematical theorems drawn up in the late 18th century as to why electromagnetism behaves in the way that it does. Last I checked, no one had written down mathematical theorems describing how people are attracted to the things they are attracted to. A quirk with these mathematical theorems, like similar theorems from their day, is that they always explain how the phenomena they were describing worked. What they failed spectacularly to even begin to hint at was any reason as to why these theorems worked at all. What is it in the properties of the space between two magnets that disagreed completely with each other when any attempt is made to bring similar poles together? No one is sure, even today. There are several ideas though. However, one thing is obvious. There are invisible forces of attraction and similarly invisible forces of repulsion in this universe. Human beings are not magnets, so we are all a tad bit more complicated, but I suppose that it is this stupefying complexity in our being which accounts for that one reason why we all love and study astrology. Natal chart astrology helps us to better understand our intrinsic motivations regarding why we think, feel, and possibly act the way that we do, in the hopes of catching a glimpse of the watchmaker itself as it puts together the masterpiece that is his or her life experience. The astrological equivalent of the force of attraction is Venus. Astronomically, Venus is similar in size to Earth, albeit a little smaller. She is the second closest planet to the Sun, but is by far the hottest body in the solar system. The atmospheric pressure on the surface of Venus is 92 times that on the surface of the Earth. This substantial difference in temperature and pressure is thought to be caused by a greenhouse effect due to Venus's atmospheric composition being 96% carbon dioxide. Yes, Venus is hot and steamy. Astrologically, Venus is considered to be symbolic of attraction and the power to attract. But what Venus is not is the object being attracted itself. Venus is not the prize at the end of attraction. It is simply the process by which we go about claiming the prize. It is our approach to what we find attractive and the ability to envisage said attraction. It is the songbird singing. Psychologically, Venus represents the aspect of ourselves which intuitively searches for harmony and beauty. But Venus does not have a preset idea what this beauty or harmony really is. It simply senses its possibility, not mentally, but sensorially. This is the primary reason Venus must constantly be on the lookout for what it considers beautiful, harmonious, refined, and luxurious. Because she's a seeker after these qualities, Venus displays absolutely no discretion in her search process. She will seek beauty anywhere she perceives it to be located. She represents the blissful and pleasure-seeking aspect of our human psyche. She has no moral compass, nor does she need one. Her function is to bring everything together in aesthetically pleasing and luxurious harmony, or in ways that make the whole greater than the sum of its parts. Venus rules perception by the senses, and especially colors and the sense of tonal sound, which we enjoy as music. She constantly envisions sensorial possibilities in unfinished formats, triggering the search process by which she is well known. In the realm of this goddess, fidelity has absolutely no meaning and can be downright contradictory to her true essence. Venus needs space to arrange things into beautiful shapes and patterns that please the senses. It, however, shows no particular affinity to the intrinsic nature of the items being so arranged. The overall pleasing nature of the patterns arranged is what Venus is after. Her preoccupation is the creation of allure. It is within this process that we find Venus's dark secret. She really doesn't care for anything else but sensorial pleasure, and is willing to seek this pleasure at all costs. There will always be a more aesthetically pleasing possibility on the other side of her sensorial rainbow. Venus is always hot, and Venus is always on the lookout for that additional pleasurable experience to add to all that she has experienced already. Her job is to search, recognize, and lead beauty in, and then to revel in the pleasure that this creates. Everything else is just nothing to her. Mythologically, Venus, or Aphrodite, as she was referred to by the Greeks, had numerous lovers and was very unfaithful to all of them. She possessed a magic girdle which conveyed irresistible loveliness upon its wearer. Individuals with prominent Venusian placements on the angles of their natal chart or with significant context to the Sun, Moon, or Mars bring the entire scope of Venus to bear on these points. Venus will introduce pleasure-seeking appetites by envisioning possibilities to further rearrange, harmonize, luxuriate, and mesmerize existing senses. Venus is never quite satisfied with the sensorial status quo. Even if Venus is not prominent in the natal chart, wherever Venus is located is where we are allowed to pursue sensorial pleasure according to the dictates of its house, sign, and aspects. When considering Venus's placement in the natal charts to better understand it during synthesis, it must be examined relative to the placement of Mercury. The relationship between the two placements is vital in the accurate delineation of Venusian possibilities. Having thought long and hard, I still cannot fathom why many astrologers have equated Venus with money in the natal chart. Being a symbolic representation of the combinatorial processes which give rise to human faculty, a natal chart can only code for faculty expressions such as intellect, emotions, feelings, and their attendant predispositions to varying life circumstances. Hence, I would expect to see symbolic codes and their combinations within a natal chart, which suggests to me that a person may generate very strong feelings of contentment from activities pursued in the 5th house, for example. However, the underlying physical reason for such contentment may be money or ice cream. The natal chart does not say which it is. Since we are allowed to pursue pleasure where Venus is located in our charts, maybe such pleasurable Venusian pursuits coincide with money making. I honestly do not know. As such, I can slightly concur with drawing the inference between Venus and money in a natal chart. For astrological natal chart synthesis, or to join my online tutorial classes where you learn how to conduct natal chart synthesis, please see the description underneath this video.